community. Ladies and gentlemen, like the president said in our welcome address, the economy is tough. An average individual earning, say, slightly above the minimum wage, 90,000 naira. The minimum wage currently stands at 70,000 naira. If we do a little quick math, that's 3,000 naira per day. That, for say, for example, somebody even living alone is not enough to eat three comfortable square meal. If we even assume that there is nothing square about three, let's say we just want to eat morning and evening, that's 3,000 per day, considering that you have to do transport, you have to pay for rent. If we do calculation of paying rent per day, you want to eat, there is part of medicine, there's part of subscription, among other things, utility, want to be online. That amount is ridiculously not enough to suffice anyone. Compared to somebody that has a family of three, four, or five, what we used to consider as luxury, if somebody earns 300,000 naira, but in a place like Lagos, that amount is also ridiculous. Because if we do a quick analysis, we will discover that if up to 50% of that amount is being spent on transport alone. So these are the issues, and because of the attendant effect of these low income families, like the president rightly put it, are currently struggling. So, and she said something that is very, very apt. Alternative source of income is not luxury anymore. It is needed and it is possible, which is why we have today Dr. Akeem Oyewale to speak to us about that. And please, ladies and gentlemen, permit me at this point in time to quickly go over the profile of Dr. Akeem as I introduce him to commence his presentation. Dr. Akeem Oyewale started his education with a solid foundation at Adeola Model School, Offa, in Kwara State. He then proceeded to Offa Grammar School, where he finished as a distinction student. Akeem holds a BSc degree in accounting from the University of Lagos, an MBA from Manchester Business School, United Kingdom, and a doctorate in management of technology and innovation from Da Vinci Institute, South Africa. He is an alumnus of the Said Business School, University of Oxford, and a certified impact investing expert from the Graduate School of Business, University of Cape Town. He also has a professional certificate in Islamic capital market from INCEIF, Malaysia. Dr. Akeem, an Arthur Anderson scholar, has over 20 years of extensive experience in investment banking, credit marketing, trade finance, and sustainable finance. He managed the Stanbic IBTC Nigeria Equity Fund, Nigeria's largest mutual fund at the time, and was responsible for the launch of Stanbic IBTC Ethical Fund. He is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, and the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria. He is also an associate of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. Dr. Akeem was previously the CEO of Stanbic IBTC Stockbrokers Limited, Nigeria's largest stockbroking firm. Also, Stanbic IBTC Asset Management Limited and Stanbic IBTC Nominees Limited, all of the Standard Bank Group. Dr. Akeem is the Chief Executive Officer of Mabu Capital Limited and a member of the Securities and Exchange Commission's SEC Financial Literacy Technical Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, very distinguished guests, please join me to welcome. We can just say welcome by typing our message in the chat box or by using our clapping emoji to welcome him as I give him the floor to make his presentation. Sir, you have the floor now.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Kindly confirm you can hear me, please.
Yes, I can. We can hear you, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Can I be allowed to share my slide, please?
Yes, sir. You should be able to do that now.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, yeah, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh once again, and thanks to the sisters in Deen Foundation for inviting me to have this conversation with our brothers and sisters. Today I'm going to be speaking for about 35 minutes, and I'll be willing to take your questions thereafter. So please note your questions and let's have this conversation. We're going to be discussing how to adapt to economic challenges. And we're also going to discuss very, very practical ways of generating additional income from a Nigerian perspective. Okay. As the moderator said earlier, we live in a country where people are having significant challenges from an economic perspective. We live in a situation where people are no longer even saying my take-home pay cannot take me home. But we're also living in a situation where we are in a country where people are very, very innovative. We always have that saying, it go better, it go better, it go better. Now, what do we do in a situation where we're having economic challenges, where we have employment? Some of us are not employed, but we need to get by. We want to thrive. We don't just want to survive, we want to thrive. And that's really why the objective of this conversation is going to be in 4 ways. Number one, we're going to have a very, very quick review of the current economic climate in Nigeria and how it impacts household incomes. We're also going to speak to why it is important or advisable for you to try and diversify your income streams. Okay. Then we're going to speak to some of the things you can do, for generating additional income. And we're going to try and make sure we promote financial resilience through informed decision making. That is something that I would like you to please pay attention to the last few slides. How do we ensure that whatever we do is detailed, is planned, and is strategic? Okay. Thankfully, almost all of us on this call, we are literate, so we need to bring that additional knowledge that we've been able to secure to bear. Nigeria, of course, it's still the largest country on the continent of Africa. 1 out of 4 Africans is meant to be a Nigerian, But that said, the inflation in our country is still on the high side at 22.22%. That is really, really high. Of course, we've just seen the recent rebasing of our economy, but that is neither here nor there. What it only shows us is that the compound annual growth rate of Nigeria is expected to be 6.9, between now and 2030. Now, there has been a relatively good news in the last 1 year, and that is regarding our foreign exchange. There's been a bit of stability, after a very, very difficult challenging period where we have massive instability. Now, currency has given us a bit of stability at around the 1,500 handle. It oscillates a bit, but the previous instability we used to have from 360 to 750 to 1,000 to at times 1,500 to at times 2,000 has actually been normalized quite a while. So you can plan, at least in the short term, that the average cost of your dollar, if you are importing items, be around the 1,500, 1,600 range. It is range bound, which means that is a good news. However, the other items aren't so good. If you look at job security, underemployment, unemployment, it is really, really abysmal. Yes, our NBS tells us that our unemployment rate is 13.5%. But when you look around you, you will see that a lot of underemployment exists. A lot of people that have the ability to actually do more than they could do, they aren't able to do it. So you still have these challenges regarding job security, regarding unemployment, regarding underemployment, which is a situation where you can work, you actually have a job, but you are not doing what you are meant to be able to do, or you can do a lot better. So you are being underutilized. Then we also have a very, very dire statistics, which is the one that speaks to the access to credit or savings or finance. Nigeria, we have, depending on who you ask, a population of 220 million people. We've not had a census in a while, so we are still working around that estimate. But KPMG tells us only 44% of the population is banked. And even at that, you have people that the percentage of less than 6% that have access to formal credit. If you take out all the multinationals, you take out all the large corporates, if you talk about individuals, very, very few people actually have access to credit. So people have to resort to, in the official financial system. So people have to resort to instances like Isusu, cooperatives, Ajo, and all of that to be able to secure bulk funding, to be able to carry out a particular transaction that they would love to carry out. The flip side of all of these challenges is that you are having significant problems, with most families, and that also impacts the purchasing power. We've told you the inflation is still high. We are even lucky it has come down to 22%. It was much higher than that at a point, but that also reduces the purchasing power of everyone, and it increases poverty, and of course, reduce consumption. A lot of the FMCGs are complaining that the quantum of purchases they are seeing is reducing. That's because people don't have the same economic power as they used to have, especially with inflation, with devaluation, to be able to get most of the items they normally would have gotten. Added to the fact that Nigeria is predominantly an import-dependent country. We are seeing what is going on even in the agri space right now. Governments has thrown away all the laudable efforts of the past regimes, in ensuring we are self-sufficient in grains production, in rice production. They've opened up the borders and they have been importing so massive quantities of grains, of maize, just name it, wheat, sorghum. And they are already allowing the producers, local producers, to be suffering. Yes, they've collapsed the prices, but you are having people importing at less than the cost of producing locally. So most companies in that agri value chain that are not strong, they're actually packing up, Now that increases job insecurity and underemployment, Now we have people that have so many skills. Some people are chartered accountant, they are chartered lawyer, they are this, they are that, chartered everything. They have BSc, they have MSc, they have PhD. But what you get occasionally, there was a news at a point in time that some PhD folks were applying to be drivers at Dangote Group. That shows how desperate they are because they've not been able to utilize their qualifications for what they thought they would be. So they had to move on to somewhere else. And what this does is that it limits the ability of people to plan from a financial perspective. The challenge of not having access to credit is immense, because people are unable to thrive, they're unable to buy things in bulk, they're unable to actually launch new projects or products, either as a corporate entity or even as an individual, because you need credit, you need money. There is a limit to what you can get from your friends and family. If you do not have access to real financial support, you may not be able to achieve so much. Now, the topic of this conversation, speaks to additional income. Why do we think additional income is essential? I have a few points here. Number one, it protects you against economic shocks. Like the moderator said, the average person, gets less than 100,000, 90,000, 150,000 naira salary. If you look at that 90, that's 3,000 per month. If the person should fall sick or his child should fall sick and they need to go to the hospital for malaria treatment or whatever, they'll be spending 10, 15,000 naira at the minimum if they don't have an HMO that provides insurance for them. That is money they will have spent in 1 week that they will have to spend in 1 day. So that is economic shock. And anybody could fall ill at any point in time. School fees could be increased. There could be massive inflation and you may not be able to afford that bag of rice that I used to buy before. But if you had an additional income stream, the salary you are earning or your regular income is still there. You are working for that, but you may be able to generate something that you can just use to plan for economic shocks that may happen at any point in time. Then it bridges the gap between earnings and expenses. We live, yes, a lot of us are already living in an environment where nuclear family is me and my child, me and my wife, me and my children alone. But we still have this extended family culture in our society. You are not raised to just fend for yourself alone. You have to help your brother, help your sister, help your uncle. So there are occasional demands on you, that you just by virtue of who you are, you need to meet up to. If you are just relying on your salary, it may be a struggle for you to meet up with those expenses, and that may cause a lot of frictions. So if you have additional income, you may be able to devote parts of that additional income to meet additional expenses that will come up. You may lose a tire in your car. Anything could just happen at any point in time. Then when you have additional income as well, you're able to save. You're able to save more. And when you save, you can invest and earn more returns. Then it assists you to actually build up a long-term wealth plan. When you have additional income, you can use that to jumpstart a wealth plan for you, for your family, and to have a proper pensions plan in addition to the PRA that we are all following in Nigeria. Then it makes you to actually feel confident in yourself when you have financial independence. That's because you are earning A, but you also know you've done one or two things that allows B, C, D to be coming in by the side. So you are relaxed. You're able to plan. You're able to have financial independence. That is really why additional income is essential. Now, we've listened to this, and I know you may have one or two questions, but I also have 4 questions that I think all of us on this call, we need to listen to, and if possible, we need to write about it. What are these questions, and why do we see a lot of Nigerians saying that they see themselves as entrepreneurs? A MasterCard survey was able to show us that almost 80%, of Nigerian women, they feel they are entrepreneurial in spirit. Of course, when these people go out to start businesses, you have very, very high level of collapse in those businesses. But the average Nigerian believes, especially of the female gender, believes that they can set up business and be successful. And it's been proven, in Nigeria today, you have very, very wealthy people. You have people as well that have been able to use their skills, whether in comedy, whether in music, whether in entertainment, Hollywood, whether online. They've been able to prove that you can succeed by doing something that you like. And we have a culture in Nigeria we also call side hustle, that allows you to be able to do so many things in addition to your primary function. You can be a freelance writer, you can be a photographer, you can be an event planner, you can even be a graphic designer on the side. These are all side hustles, which if you do them well, they will allow you to earn additional income. But before you know whether what you're doing or that you have the ability to engage in getting additional income, can you please answer the question, who are you? Who are you? I think this is important. If you have a pen, write it down and try and answer this, at your comfort, whenever you are comfortable, you have some time. Who are you? You must understand your identity. You must know what your goals are in life. You must know where you currently are, your starting point. So who are you? What are your core values in life? What are your priorities? You must understand that, and you must answer this question to yourself. Are you capable of growing, of learning, or you are the type that you believe you cannot learn anymore, you cannot change, you are fixed in your ways? You must be honest in all of these assessments of yourself. How old are you? If you are 60 years old, if you are 16 years old, there is a massive difference. Your energy levels will be different. Your ability to comprehend will be different. Who are you, a female? Are you a male? How much education do you have? Do you have a PhD? Do you have a BSc? Or you are just a secondary school leaver? You must really know who you are. That is the starting point before you can answer the question as to how do I get additional income? And please, you must not think that who you are is going to be a negative or a positive. No, it's just for you to be truthful to yourself. Because your personal circumstances will also influence the kind of opportunities that will come your way. If you don't know anything about IT, if you do not go to university, it might be difficult for you to understand when some people are speaking AI terms, So you need to know who you are, in terms of your educational level, your age, your gender, if whether you are someone that if someone teaches you, you will learn. You are not competing against anybody. Just understand yourself. So don't lie to yourself, but know your strengths and your weaknesses. So the first question you need to answer is who you are. Then the second one is, what can you do? What are the skills, the talents, or even the certifications that you have, that you currently have, that you think you can have in the near term? Are you the type that goes to Coursera to learn? Are you the type that's already been trained how to be a fashion designer, how to be a photographer, but you've forgotten about it? Just know, what skills do you have? Are you a drummer? Are you a singer? Are you a chanter, someone that can recite their Ori keys very well? Are you a shy person, or are you a bold person that can go out and interview people? And you must answer those questions yourself. What can you do? Can you be a farmer? Can you be a designer? What are the things you can do in addition to your current work? And what skills do you think you need to learn, to be able to move in line with the new? I have one of my my guys, my mentees, who went through a very, very skilled data processing and data analysis course, about 8 stages. Now that is what he's using to feed. He's so good at it now that he's even not using his skill, what he studied in the university as a building engineer to feed today. He's so good with data analysis. So what are the things you think you know from a talent perspective, from a skills perspective, and also ask yourself whether your skills are in demand at the moment. Skills in demand are AI skills, tech skills, teaching skills, singing skills. People are asking for people that can just come and make them happy, that you can come and write a good script that can be sold to Netflix, sold to Prime Video, YouTube. Even if you're not the actor or the actress, are you someone that has those ideas and you can write? These are skills that are in demand. So what courses have you been able to take, or can you take, to upskill yourself in the near term? So what can you do to generate income? What Mr. A can do can be totally different from what Mr. B can do. So it is not competition. If you answer the first question properly as to who you are, then you can also answer the second question honestly as to what you can do. Okay, that's the second question that we need us to speak to. The third is, what is your worth? Okay, you need to also understand that you need to know where you stand. How much are you earning per annum? Are you the type that's always asking for urgent 2K? Okay, what is your current net worth? And when we say net worth, you must really sit down and ask yourself, what are my assets? I have 1,000 naira in the bank. I have a land somewhere. I have a car. I have a house. Just take the time to know what your assets are and what are your liabilities. We're not asking you here to come and write your will, but it also helps you if you know what your worth is. You will know whether you have some shares somewhere and all of that. This helps you to know your current net worth. So you need to understand what you are worth. Know your assets, know your liabilities. Liabilities are not just people that they've given you money. They are also commitments you've made. You have a child that you are sending to school. They're paying 100,000 naira every time. Your liability, which is a commitment for the next 3 times, is 300,000. For the next 1 year is X amount. For the next 2 years is, so you know what your liabilities are, you know what your assets are, you know what your monthly income, your annual income is at the moment. You have an idea of what your expenses are at the moment and what they are likely to be over the next 12 months, the next 6 months. These are things that you must not just do mentally, as a lot of us do, but try and use your ability that 1 + 1 + 2 + 3 to write down. When you're able to do all of this, it helps you immensely to know whether you actually need to go and do a second job, need to do a side hustle, or whether it's going to tell you, what, your current job is the only one you should be doing. Just be more serious at it. Don't get sacked, get promoted, get to the topmost level. So these are things you need to do. If you analyze yourself and you realize that, hey, I'm actually fine. My earnings can take care of me. I just need to save a bit more. That is one of the things you get by assessing your financial position and your earning potential. Okay? Are you earning enough or you are just surviving? You must ask yourself. Don't say because a lot of people say things are tough, things are tough. Maybe things are not tough for you. Maybe things you need to actually look out for are some other soft skills to just make you better. Okay? So we need to really, really know this, our worth, and also ask ourselves, oh, what I'm doing, I'm actually doing okay. I am a writer. Maybe what I'm doing, instead of me charging 25,000 naira per week, I should be charging 80,000 naira per week. You may just need to charge more for your skills. Maybe your skills are already good. Maybe you're already the best in the industry. Maybe you just don't know that you are being underpaid. So these are things I need us to work on. This kind of question, I cannot just come. I have hundreds of people on this call. I cannot say everybody should do 1, 2, 3. No, because each person's circumstances or situations are different. We all have different needs. We all have different cash flows. We all have different backgrounds. But if we answer those questions that have been put into us, who are you? What can you do? What is your worth? This will help us design for ourselves, because here we are teaching ourselves how to feed. We are not giving you fish. We want you to fish, to learn how to fish so that you can understand your circumstance and design what is best for you. So I repeat, please understand your worth today. If you are negative net worth, it's fine. If you are positive, it's also fine, but know where you stand, Then finally, I also need you to ask yourself another genuine question. How informed are you? What kind of knowledge do you have about the economy? How is this economy affecting you? People say things are tough, but it may actually be in your best interest the way things are today. So don't join the bandwagon. How is the economy affecting your income? Is the depreciation giving you access to have more income? Is the high inflation giving you access to earn more income? Know what you do. If your business is meant to boom because of what has happened, then let it boom. Let it boom, So you must evaluate your awareness and decision-making ability. Do you regularly read about financial economics, the inflation in Nigeria, what plans government is doing, which area they are spending the budget on, and do you also try and understand new income opportunities? For example, a lot of people are very active on digital platforms now. This new ISA is set rules on as recognized digital platforms. President Trump of the US just signed the Genius Act into play. How does that impact you? So there are changes every day. The Nigerian Stock Exchange or the NGX has grown, to about 139,000 points. What does that mean? People are making money in the stock market. Should you go in or should you be outside of it? So you need to ask yourself, how much knowledge do I have about the economy? And do you seek financial advice where you don't know, or you just follow the bandwagon? Okay, so these are questions I need you to evaluate yourself on. How informed are you? How much knowledge do you have about where you are working, the economy, the plans of government, the plans of your company, the community where you are, from an economic perspective, okay? Not from a beer parlor conversation perspective, an economic perspective. How does this apply to you? Okay, so you need to understand that. Then, do you know how to plan, how to write a budget, what you want to spend your money on for the next 1 year? Do you know how to plan how your business can have a budget for the next 6 months? So all of these questions you need to really, really ask yourself, how informed are you? Because if you don't have a lot of information, it's not a crime. Make sure you have access and you ask financial advisors to help you, because you cannot know everything. Like I mentioned earlier, yes, we are in Africa. A lot of us are getting modernized and are going into a nuclear family structure, but we still understand that we have a lot of dependence on our income. You have brothers, you have uncles, you have cousins, you have nieces, so you need to ask yourself, who are those that are relying on your income? Because if you should have issues, you're going to affect not just yourself, but a lot of people. Is it your wife? Is it your husband? Is it your child? Is it your family? Is it your staff if you're the one running the business? So who are those that depend on you, at least from a financial perspective? Just have a rough idea of those people so that you need to take them into consideration when you're trying to design or move into another business or do another job, additional income. You need to know the risk that you can take. Can I be aggressive here, or do I have to be conservative because I have 20 people that are waiting on me every week to feed? Okay. And what will happen? Just imagine a situation if your salary stopped, your earnings stopped, your company goes under, or you are fired. What happens today? Do you have any reservoir of funds? Do you have any emergency funds? Do you have any support system that you can latch onto for the next 2-3 months to survive? Or you're going to go straight into the streets and start begging? You need to understand this. It is extremely important. Don't kid yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Okay. What assets that you have that can be easily converted to cash if there should be an emergency situation, that requires you? Or do you have to go and meet Mr. A? Now, are you building income streams with your dependents in mind? You need to know how you are doing this, because don't allow these guys to just get shortchanged because you refuse to plan. Then finally as well, what steps are you taking to protect and grow your income, for the long term? That question yourself. What can you do? Are you a lazy person that cannot do beyond your 8 to 5? Are you someone that is challenged health-wise, that you cannot do some particular activities? You must live for 12 hours every day, otherwise your BP will be 180 to 120. You must be honest in yourself to check yourself. What can you do? Are you someone that is strong enough that can work almost round the clock? So please, there's no correct answer or wrong answer here. Just honest answers is what you need. What are the skills that you have? Are there some things you were trained on that you've forgotten that you need to go and retrain yourself? And what certifications do you think will be appropriate for the kind of skills that you're trying to get? Know your worth today. Are you a billionaire? Are you a millionaire? You just have 100,000 net worth? You have zero net worth? You have negative net worth? Just know where you stand. It's going to guide you in making the right decisions. Don't worry. Don't worry. No two persons will have the same net worth. No two, even if they are twins, after working for 5 years, they will not have the same net worth. One will be higher than the other by 1 naira. So it's not competition. It's just a reality check that you can do yourself and make sure you have the right answers. Then ask yourself how informed you are about the economy. This is extremely important. And also, do not forget that some people are depending on you. So when you're taking these decisions, do not take them because of yourself alone. You should know some people are behind you that are looking forward to you. So you have a responsibility, to make right decisions, either in having additional jobs, having additional income, or doing your current job in a better way. So those are the answers that I need. Now, I want us to move up a bit, speed up a bit, and look at some of the strategies that we believe can assist us in increasing our income, and getting additional income. Number one, you can monetize your skills and talents. Okay, if you are a fashion designer, we've been seeing what has been happening with some of the celebrity fashion designers. I think there's a guy called Sheyi Vodi, in Abuja and all of that. You could see what he's doing. It's just pure hard work. It's just bringing additional, perspectives to what every other person is doing on the streets. He's a fashion designer, yes, but he's taking his own to the next level. You have rough and tumble, So there are skills that we have that some of us don't know we have, or we have and we're not monetizing it enough. Nigeria is a country with 220 million people. You have Africa with billions of people. You have the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, which means that what you're doing, your market is not just Nigeria, but technically your market is ECOWAS, the whole African continent, if only you are able to see and plan towards it. Okay? So I need us to understand that when you say you are a photographer, you are a travel blogger, you are, you are doing one of, yes, you are doing it, but don't think you are just for your community. If you scale yourself properly, you can actually sell to the whole of the continent, to the whole of your state, to the whole of your local government. So how can we monetize our skills? With this age of internet, age of digital awareness, digital connectivity, tech improvements, and we all have the same access to Wi-Fi and data, so how can we monetize our talent to earn more income? Are you someone that can write? You can offer to write project for someone in Canada. You can offer to write a code for someone in India. You can teach someone that is trying to learn a language in California right here from the comfort of your house in Nigeria. Okay, we have some people listening to this session. They are not in Nigeria at the moment. Okay, so there are so many things you can do. You have to monetize your skills. You have to know what you can do and make sure you monetize it. You have to leverage digital platforms. TikTok, it's not just for you to be showing off you are wearing the best clothes today. Yes, show off. But can you also put on your commercial thinking cap? How can I use TikTok to make money, to create awareness, YouTube channels, affiliate sales, sell your knowledge? I am an intelligent person as far as data analysis is concerned. Let people know, those that need your service, let them ask you and you build them for it. It also helps you if you think you cannot do all of this, for you to have a strategy that allows you to be generating passive income. What is passive income? Passive income is income you earn from your investment even while sleeping. So you're not doing something additional. You are not reading books. You are not doing TikTok. You are not farming. You are not traveling. You are just sitting doing your normal job. Meanwhile, your investment is giving you additional income. You are sleeping. You are on the beach. You are anywhere you have, but you are having this conversation, but you're earning some income, halal income, ethical income. In what? In commercial papers, in mutual funds, some capital market investments. We recommend you to ensure you partake in mutual fund investment if you don't have so much knowledge. There are halal funds, there are energy funds, there are professional funds managed by recognized and approved operators by SEC. So if you are earning X amounts every month, you're able to put aside 100,000 every month. Just put in the mutual fund and every month let your account be debited. Forget about the money. If you need the money back in 2 years' time, in 4 years, you'll be surprised at how much you'll have invested in a passive way, because as you're investing, the fund manager is using the money to make more money for you by investing in other projects. You don't need to care about that project. Just pay the fund manager his fees and your income is being managed. If you are a wealthy individual, this does not exonerate you. Have a proper management account with a professional. Create a family office if you have the opportunity to do so. Don't just focus on your current earnings. Whatever you are earning, take X percentage out of it, whether it's 10, whether it's 20, whether it's 30%, and put it in an investment fund with a recognized player, licensed participants. That is passive income for you. Okay, if you are someone that likes real estate, either you manage it yourself or you get a manager for it. Build houses in right places, proper location, and just be generating rents. You're not the one managing them. Get people to be going and getting your rent, and every quarter, every year, you get access to your revenue. That is passive income. And when you have the opportunity, you do it now. Don't wait till tomorrow. We don't know what tomorrow will bring. Okay. Then final point I would like to say when we talk about actionable strategies for additional income, a lot of people ignore this point I want to make, but I'd like you to please pay attention to it. And that is optimizing your current employment. If you're already being employed somewhere and you are good at the job, you can ask to do extra work. Okay, you are a gate man and you have some knowledge of managing the laboratory. Apply and tell them, you know what, I can still do this, but I can also do this. Okay, you are a manager, you are just customer relations, but you still have some IT skills. You can negotiate. You say, you know what, I'm doing this, but after 3 o'clock, I can also do additional job within the same organization. You need to know your circumstance. But the point is, your current employment, you can make additional income legally, genuinely, by just doing a bit more than your 8 to 5, a bit more than what is on your job description, by just being focused, being that very, very diligent person in your current work, and you can be promoted. You can have additional qualifications. You earn more money. Just show diligence in your work. Work harder, not other people that once it's 5 o'clock, bam, they clock out. Your manager is looking at you. Your bosses are looking at you. You think this is my contract, so I have to comply with my contract. But go the extra mile. Let them see that you are committed to the particular job you're doing. And with that, you can earn and optimize your current employment, especially if it's an area that you like. Okay, so generate passive income, optimize your current employment, ensure you monetize your skills and talents, ensure you leverage digital possibilities as well, digital platforms. We believe that if you do any of these 4 items, you can actually do a lot of earn yourself additional income. Now, I'm going to run through the next 3 slides, and these are things that we need you to know when we talk about additional income. We're saying this because we believe we are addressing very literate people. This is not a session for the whole market. It's for people that are able to read and write and are willing to take part in this. So how do you promote financial resilience? We think you can do that through informed decision making. What are the decision making that we think you should leave this webinar with? Number 1, track your finances. You must understand what you are spending your money on. Most people, if you look at their bank accounts, you just see credit at the end of the month. Then the next thing you see for the next 3 weeks is debit here, debit here, debit here, debit here, debit here. Those debits, they are as good as the single credit that you get. But the question is, do you understand where those debits are going? Are you taking some of those debits to build emergency savings, or they are just for consumption? Okay. Are you learning before you make any investment what you are putting your money to, or you just follow the crowd? Okay. Are there necessary debts that you are taking? In our cooperative, you have access to taking 6 times your monthly pay at once, and you can pay back. I want to take my own. Mr. Labaja has taken. You realize that once you take that money, is a debt. Have you analyzed what you want to use the money for? Okay, are you just need to buy tire into your car, and you're not using the car for Uber? Okay, because those are areas you can generate income. Are you just need to furnish your house, which is just consumption? We're not saying you should not furnish your house, but know what you are using your debts for, especially if you are clamoring and you are saying that your income is not enough. So taking additional debts that you're using for consumption is not the ideal. It's like Nigeria that we're borrowing money for recurrent expenditure. Okay, let us use the money that we have. You have to get into a debt for something that will generate income on its own. Then please, please, please set very, very clear financial goals for yourself. We've told you to know yourself, and you must know what your plan is. Whether you're earning 100,000 or you're earning 1 million per month, it doesn't matter. If you don't have any plan, any financial goal that at the end of this year, I must have saved 100,000 naira, I must have saved 100 million naira, but I must have saved 50% of my income. I must have invested 30% of my income. You're not going to do it. You are not going to do it. So, and it's never too late. You must not wait till January. Today is the beginning of August. You have 5 more months at the end of the year. Go and write it down. the income I'm going to earn between now and December, I must save and invest 30% of it. Just whether you're earning 100,000, you're earning 100 million, make sure you save 30%. It helps, it just helps, but you must set that clear financial goal. Please and please, let's avoid emotional spending. Oh, my sister is getting married. My sister's cousin is getting married. My sister's friend is getting married. They've sent us Ashwebi. I have to buy Ashwebi 45,000, Ashwebi 100,000, Ashwebi 500,000. There are some emotional spending that you should just, it may not be necessary. So just check yourself. This thing I'm out, oh, my phone is now 1 year that I've been using this iPhone 13. I can't use it. I must use iPhone 17. I must use iPhone 16. Is it necessary? Is it entirely necessary? We are not saying you should not spend. We are saying don't do emotional spending because your other folks are doing the same. You must have your own clear financial goals. You must not go into unnecessary debts because everybody is doing that. You must build emergency savings. It comes handy at a point in time. Whether it's 5%, whether it's 10%, whether it's 20%, don't say it's too small. Don't say that I'm not earning enough. Whatever you are earning, build a savings plan from it. Okay. Now, everything we've spoken to, but there are red flags that you must be careful about. Whether you are running a business, whether you are making investments, whether you've done everything we've asked you to do here. And we'll just speak to 2, 3, 4 of them. Number one, Ponzi schemes. You must avoid Ponzi schemes, pyramid schemes. We all saw what happened with CBEX, how our Ibadan friends, they lost trillions of naira, to Ponzi schemes. We also MMM, we also MBA, Ponzi schemes, they come in different shapes and sizes. They're not going to call themselves Ponzi. They call themselves a gold scheme. We are buying gold. Don't you know gold price has been going up? If you buy this asset, it's called ABC Gold Scheme. You're going to get 20 times of your money by the end of the year. See, Davido is using it. Whiskey is using it. Mr. Labaja is doing it. They are not telling you, all of that are Ponzi schemes. They will give you a deadline. If you snooze, you lose. This is just an opportunity for you alone. Don't tell the next person. It's about to close, They give you a lot of reasons not to even confirm the genuineness. We are registered with CAC. We have SCUMO certificate. Are you registered with SEC? Registration is being processed as SEC. It takes time. This, that. If you're asking too many questions, you miss out. Don't listen to people. Avoid Ponzi schemes. Please, you are working hard. You are saying you should save your money. It's going to be a bad double whammy if the money you are saving from money that's not enough is now invested in Ponzi scheme. I cannot invest anything that will not give me less than 30%. They will bring investment to you that will be 40% and it will be Ponzi. Okay? Don't chase too many ideas at once. Oh, no, I can write programs. No, I'm a photographer. No, I'm a fashion designer. I can do that on my side also. I'll do this on Monday. I'll do this on Wednesday. No. Just choose one item. Just an item that you can be best at. In economics, we're taught about competitive advantage. Yes, you are a chartered accountant, a chartered tax practitioner, a chartered this, chartered that. But what is it that you can do in your sleep? If it's tax analysis, just focus on being the best tax person. If it's accounting, just focus on that. If it is photography, just ensure you have the time to learn and ensure your photography skills are top notch. Don't chase too many ideas at a single time. No, I want to diversify. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. I must do A Monday, B on Tuesday. No, you're not going to get value. You're not going to be competitively advantageous in your activities. So just limit yourself. We are talking here about side hustle. We're talking about additional income. Just limit yourself to that particular skill that you can be the best at. Okay? When people tell you guaranteed returns without any clarity, please run away from it. Most investments do not offer guaranteed returns, especially if you are doing Islamic investments. you must know the risk you are investing in. It's only saying, you know, this one, we're going to give you 100% return. It is guaranteed without any, you know, no wakala, nothing, there's no structure. You know, just make sure you avoid it. Okay. Then avoid spending your profit too soon. You know, please. I mean, yes, it's your profit from your business, but you should also learn to reinvest your profits and grow your business. You know, there's what we call um, delayed gratification. You know, so delayed gratification also helps. You know, just yeah, you're going to get the money, but please reinvest it first instead of having to spend everything to buy that new Range Rover. Chill. You can buy the Range Rover next year. You can buy it in 2 years' time. You even buy a better version. You know, but continue to use your Toyota. You know, and make sure you get your business to a very, very sizable and stable level. Please ignore the hype. People can hype things. Look at the value. You know, you must really, we're not saying you should not do PR. Do PR, make yourself popular, but please always know the value. And that's why you must always write things down. Okay. That's really what I will ask you to do. Now, a final point I will raise, which is extremely, extremely important for all of us. We've been talking here about additional income generation, but there are 4 key things you must understand. The first is what we call amana, trust. You are currently working in an organization. You have a contract with that company that you are going to be devoting your 8 to 5 to them and taking 1 hour of lunch break. Please make sure you do that. It is not while you are working in your organization that you'll be selling your item on Jumia. No, you are cheating the organization. As an ethical person, you must not do that. It is called amana. Do not utilize the time of your paid employment for your additional also. Your additional also is your own private time. When you're working for Mr. A, for company A, for school A, please do that. Time you're meant to be in the lecture room, be in the lecture room. Don't use that time to go and be doing additional deals. Okay, so please, it's called trust. You know, and for people that are religious, people that are likely to do good things, you must know that you are bound, you know, to just do the right things for this current organization that you are working for. The time you've assigned, the time you've signed up for them, do the job that you've promised to do for them. Okay, do not engage in competition with your current employers. Your employers are into advert business, and you are into advert business. Your employers are selling paints, and you are selling paints. It is just unethical. You must not compete with your current organization. If you think you are good at that, then resign and go and do it. They cannot give you a mandate to go and meet a customer, then you'll be telling the customer, I will do this, but the money must come to me directly. No. Everything we do, we want to have baraka in it. So please, let us do things that are proper. And you should always deliver your best in your current job. If you do it when you are in the position to hire people as well, it's just a lot of karma. You know, you're going to get the same good people. Then finally, when you believe that your entrepreneurial juice has ripened, that you are good enough to be on your own, please resign, leave your current employment with the door opened. And I will explain what I mean by the door opened. Don't write a resignation letter and throw it at your boss. I'm leaving. I'm going. I'm off. I've served you for 20 years. I'm leaving. You know, live properly, because that door that you are walking out of, you might need it. You might need to go back in. Outside is not easy, okay? You may find very, very tough engagement outside. I may need to go back to your previous employment. It's not a crime. Or you may need that previous employer to give you some recommendations, you know, in your new jobs. You know, so please, when you are leaving a particular role, live with care and live properly. I hope this has been beneficial to all of us, you know, and there are many resources we can continue to have access to. Let's learn by reading, doing training on Coursera. There are many trainings on YouTube. Google is your friend. You know, freelance platforms. You have the Fiverr, Upwork. You can register. You know, if you are talented or you have skills, you can have them available to people. You can invest. You can, if you want to invest, there are many apps. There's Cowrywise. there is Marble Invest, there is Bamboo. These are all licensed entities that you can invest your money through, and don't hesitate to use any of the e-commerce tools that are available, whether it's WhatsApp Business, Flutterwave, Paystack, TikTok, and all of those things. I would like to conclude, please, by saying three key things, and I hope you've been listening so far, especially to those 4 questions I asked you earlier on. Number 1, income diversification is not a choice. It's actually a strategic decision. Okay? When you diversify your income, you have additional streams of flows. It is a strategic decision. Even a businessman, a Dangote, is not just into refinery. He's into flour, he's into sugar, he's into this. It's diversification. Okay? So he's already made, but he's still diversifying his earnings, because tomorrow anything can happen to a refinery. Government can shut it down. Same thing, you are working, your company can be shut down. So have something that you can do on the side, but utilizing your skills and not impacting on your current employment. If you have the energy, you have the health, the power, the intellect, it is good from a strategic perspective. And when you're able to proactively adapt, know that you are doing this during this period, you are doing this during that period, it gives you economic resilience. You are tougher. You're able to survive a lot more, and please, 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 if you are not taking anything from this course, from this session, take this. Everyone has something to offer. Okay? Every single person on this call will have something to offer. Over and above your current job, you have skills. You have skills that if you unpack properly, you really realize, I can do this and I do this very well. You have time. We all have 24 hours. That is a lot of time. That is a lot of time. Yeah, you're working. I'm tired when I get back home. You have time. You have real time to use. And finally, everybody has ideas. We have plenty of ideas that if we adopt it properly, if you harness it properly, we can change the world. You have time, you have skills, either latent skills or obvious skills. You have time, you have weekend, you have time you use to just sleep, to just scroll on the social media. That's time you can use profitably, and you have ideas. Don't think you are stupid. Nobody is a dunce. You all have ideas. We all have ideas. If we believe this and we're able to unlock the potential of our skills, the potential of the time that we have, the potential of the ideas that we have properly, we can actually generate additional income streams, especially in a country like Nigeria. Nigeria is the best kept secret. Dangote says it, everybody says it, but a lot of people don't believe it. If you believe it, you realize that by being present in a country called Nigeria, where you are today, you're already in a place of opportunity. It's not up to you. You may see it, the glass is half empty. To you, it may be half full. Please let us see it as being half full all the time, opportunities all the time. And if you don't knock, the door may not be opened onto you. And you may realize that the first 1 naira, 10 naira, 50,000 naira you make from that side income, that alternative income, can actually be the most important income you may make, because it may open new vistas of opportunities for you. With this, I would like to say Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to every one of us. Good afternoon.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. That was a brilliant session. Thank you very much, sir, for that amazing session. I want to echo the last 2 key things you mentioned in your conclusion for people, to remind people that even Dangote, current richest man in Africa, is strategic. The man is doing cement, he's doing sugar, he's doing petrol. How much more we that we're not the richest man in Africa? Why won't we diversify? And secondly, if you don't knock, the door might not be opened if you don't knock. So please, let us knock the door. Let us make those moves. And Allah blesses effort. I am very sure that if we make the effort, Allah is going to answer us. Please note, for those of us requesting for slides and recording, We are going to get that. We are going to send it via mail to everyone, especially if you registered. And if you did not register, if you belong to any of our WhatsApp platforms, you will also get it there, inshallah, bi-quratillah. We'll take questions because we don't want this to be very rowdy. Would appreciate if we can drop our question as text on the chat box. So please let us quickly do that. Our lecturer has about 20 minutes more to spend with us because he has to be somewhere. So please, if we have questions, let us drop in the chat box. I'm going to go through our conversations to find the chat box now. And okay, we have a question here, sir, that says, what should we invest in, please? Then another one says, in a related question, that what is the minimum amount one can invest? And is it a continuous process of monthly, quarterly, or yearly? I think you can start with that, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So I will answer the question. I didn't get the first one, but I got the one up to um, how frequently one should invest and at the minimum. You can actually invest any amount that you are comfortable with. I would say if you are able to invest 50,000 naira per month, please do so. Okay, please do so. And there are mutual funds that you can actually engage in and will guide you in. So if you go to SEC website, that's Securities and Exchange Commission, you have Lotus Capital, you have Marble Capital, 117 Capital, Stanbic IBTC. There are a number of mutual funds there that you can just invest on. Minimum 50 will be good every month. If you're able to do more, yes, please do more. If you're able to do less than that, you could do less than that as well. But try and make it regular, so it becomes part of you. Thank you.
Now, sir, another question said, you advised that we should create a family office. The person wants you to explain that.
Yeah, so family office, it's for ultra high net worth individuals. Let me put it that way. Okay, if God has blessed you, and you have very, very reasonable amount of wealth, yeah, it helps you to create, either you go through a private banking company or you have someone set up a family office for you. What that does essentially is that your income, your wealth, is sequestered, from your daily expenses, and they manage it in line with some particular strategies that you'll have given them. So like a Dangote announced 2-3 years ago, he was setting up a family office in Dubai, but you don't need to set up in Dubai if you are not that wealthy. But once you have some reasonable amount of wealth, just ensure that you commission a fund manager or someone that can set up for you. They will help you look after your taxes, your wills, your estate, and ensure that your generation continues to be supported by your wealth. We've seen instances where a man is very wealthy, the next generation, his children, they squander the wealth in 10 years. So if you have a structured family office, that minimizes the instance of such happening. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. The next question says, as married women, please advise us on how to do better financially. That's very random. That's the question, sir. Okay,
Okay.
maybe I should add this, sir. The next question says, regarding the issue of amana, if you're a very fast worker and you have done everything necessary and you have even done the one not asked yet, and now you have nothing on your plate in this case, is it okay to be doing stuff on your personal task?
Okay, so let me answer that one quickly. We all know what amana means. We are people of the faith, so it's like when people tell us we know what is haram, we know what is allowed, we know what is good, we know what is bad. So the point of amana is you must do the right thing. Okay, if you just reverse the situation, you are the employer, and you come to the desk and you see your staff doing other things apart from what you employed him to do. Are you happy? Are you going to be happy? If you think you're going to give enough explanation that makes the person to be happy, then it's fine. If your job is such that you must do X amount within this period. Once you've done it, you can go home. Then it's fine. But if your job is that any client can still come to you between 9 and 5, and if you don't do it, if you do not leave, if you leave your desk before 5, and the customer calls and you're unable to give an answer, you've denied your employer, the benefit of your employment. So we all know what is good and what is not good. What we should not do is try to be smart or to be smarter than everybody and say, I finished my work at 1 o'clock, so I can do whatever I like between 1 and 5 o'clock. Using the resources of your employer, using their internet, using their time, using their office, these are things that if we reverse situation, we feel it may not be right, so we need to be careful. We must not be in a position where we take undue advantage of the responsibility given to us. Nobody is stopping you from doing additional stuff, but do it in a way that you are not going against the terms and tenets of why you were employed. Yeah. Okay. Then regarding married women, married women also, they have responsibilities from a financial perspective. Some work from home, some work outside of the home as well. So you must also be financially stable in terms of planning, saving, investing, because anything can happen. Yeah, today your husband is around, tomorrow your husband may pass on, so you must do the same, and it could be vice versa, So you don't just feel that as a woman, you are not, this training is not for you. No, it's for everybody. So you do everything that a man can do from a financial perspective. So long as you are earning your income, you must also save, invest, and make sure if you have talents, optimize those talents without impacting your marital, affecting your marital stability.
All right, so the next 2 questions speaks to your company directly. Somebody wants to understand Marble mutual funds, how they can get details, or if you can please explain. And that one also is about allowed fixed income. The person wants to know if it is interest-based. And finally, in that area, somebody wants to know if you can share your contacts for more information.
Yeah, so Marble Capital focuses on ethical investments. So we have halal investment, we have halal mutual funds. Marble Capital can be, you can reach us on website marble.capital. That's our website. We have a commodities halal fund, fixed income halal fund as well. And we also assist in managing people's wealth from an ethical perspective, and also provide ESG related advisory services. So if you reach out to us on our website, you can actually get all the information you require. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I am trying to scan through. Okay. Another question is that the person said is about competing with employer. You're doing a particular thing before you got employed, and it was what you were doing that impressed the employee to take you in. Now the employer wants to have a segment to start doing that same thing you were doing. Is this also regarded as competition?
Sorry, I didn't get the question properly.
Okay, the person says that they have been doing something before, which was this is for which they were employed. So now the employer wants to start that same thing they were doing that caught the attention of the employer. So if the person continues to do that thing, now that the employer is also venturing into that same field, is it competition with the employer?
Yes, it is. If you are still in the employment of the person, so and that's why we are in a free world, so you can elect, if you think what you are doing so well, you can elect to continue and leave your current employer. It's going to be very, very unethical for you to be doing the same thing as your employer is doing, under the same circumstances, the same environment. That's competition. Even if the employer does not say anything about it, he may not feel the best way about it. And this applies to even big institutions. I mean, if you're a banker, you're a general manager, and your CEO realizes that you're about to be employed in another bank, hey, they will have a conversation with you and ask you to step aside. If you are working with Microsoft and they realize that you are designing the same software, the same office, whatever they are doing, they will ask you to step aside and focus on your work, because to get to a point where you'll be conflicted. Okay, and it's conflict that people need to understand. It's not until you are told not to do something. We are all people that we have our ethical standards. We should not be in a position where you are conflicted with your employer. If you cannot disclose, recuse yourself from transactions, or you can step aside and be doing it from a contract basis. If don't just be in a position where your employer will be asking, are you for us or are you against us? When you get to that level, it is not nice, especially if you call yourself a Muslim.
So another person wants to understand practical approach for which they can get remote jobs.
So remote jobs you have a lot of these, especially for IT professionals. I'm not an IT professional, so I wouldn't claim to be an expert in that. But there are remote jobs for different skill types. Okay, if you are a designer, if you are even just a call, what do you call it, call service, customer service person, you're able to speak good English. There are many sites, many organizations across the world, in Canada, in the US, in India, that they regularly have openings online. They will make an assessment of you. If you pass, they'll train you, then you work for them. So those are online jobs. But if you speak to most IT professionals, they have so much knowledge about these opportunities and they can guide you a lot more. But you also are able to do remote jobs, not only in the IT field, even for fund management, even for selling your product. You are a designer of very good clothing materials. You can sell these things online remotely as well. So just make contact with direct experts and they can share details with you.
All right, thank you. Another question says, I have a business already, direct selling, just looking for money to fund it. How do I source for money to fund my?
Okay, so that's so for funding your businesses. Okay, this is a bit it's actually a lot easy, but a lot of people don't optimize it. Number one, if you have a proper business plan, okay, you can walk to any bank. Okay, it helps if you're already a customer of such a bank. If you go to Lotus Bank, go to Jais Bank, go to Touch Bank, they can help you. What you should do is the question they will ask you, you must have answers. They want to understand what your direct selling is about, what's the revenue you are getting. If they give you 100,000 naira, how will you pay them back? Not just about paying them back, they're also concerned about the profit you yourself will make. Okay, so if you are making a profit of 10,000 naira, you cannot give everything back to the bank. You have to survive. You have to feed yourself. So your business plan must show all of those opportunities, and the challenges you are likely to face. Because a lot of people will only say positive things, positive things about their businesses, but you must also tell us what the risks are. Is there a risk that the business can collapse tomorrow? Is there a risk that ABC can happen? Let them see all the risks, let them see all the opportunities, then let them see if you have collaterals to support everything you've asked for. If you're able to show that and it's within the focus of such a bank, they will give you. If you do not get money from a bank, you can get from your cooperative, as I mentioned earlier. You can do peer-to-peer lending. You can do family and friends. It depends on the scale of your business. But the most important thing is for you to have a very robust and a bankable business plan. If it's not bankable, they will not listen to you.
Thanks, sir. I will take the next question. One wants you to please give advice to students, especially as it relates to the discussed topic. The second one wants you to please give a list of some ethical funds as Muslims that we can tap into, or ethical investment opportunities.
Okay, so for ethical funds, I mean, you have multiple. I mentioned Mabul Halal Commodities Fund, Mabul Halal Fixed Income Fund. You can get all these online. Lotus Halal Fund, 117 Halal Fund, Stanbic IBTC Iman Fund, Stanbic IBTC Sharia Fixed Income Fund, United Capital Sukuk Fund. These are all, I've mentioned about 7. There are actually about 18 approved halal funds, If you go to SEC website is www.sec.gov.ng. If you search on SEC website for halal funds, ethical funds, you see the 18 or 19 funds that they've approved, and you see the link to the fund managers. You can go to the fund managers website and subscribe to any of these funds. They are halal, they are registered, and they will tell you the benefits of such fund, whether it's an aggressive fund, whether it's a conservative fund. You must know who you are. Are you the type that likes aggressive investments, or are you just one that, I don't want an aggressive investment that can go up or down. Just give me an investment that I know I'm getting X amount every quarter, every year. So that is your nature. So they only give you the investment plan that works for you. Okay. Then for students, I will also encourage students to be very, very conversant with happenings in the financial space. SEC is a website you must always go to. The NGX is a website you must always go to. FMDQ, FX, all the capital markets players, Marble Capital, Lotus Capital, Stanbic IBTC, Chapel Hill, Denham, licensed capital market operators. Just go to their website and get informed about opportunities. Then also as students, be conversant with national economic data. Whenever the central bank releases information on their MPR, the Nigerian MBS Bureau of Statistics tells us what inflation is doing in the country. Please always know it and challenge yourself that if this is the point, if these are the data points, what are the consequences? What are the areas of businesses that are opening up that I need to upskill myself? So just try and read business news, listen to business news, and try and interpret business news. And when you do not understand, just get in touch with experts to guide you. They will be very, very willing to assist you. If you come to Marble Capital, if you go to Lotus Capital, we'll sit you down, we'll give you guidance. If you send an email, you get responses. So we need you to be inquisitive. We need you to criticize. You are students, so you should criticize. And we need you to just try and know what is available in the economic space. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I think we still have about 7 minutes, right? All right, thank you. So MAE Tech, please, if you could rephrase your question. I didn't get this very, very correctly. So please kindly rephrase your question around AI websites only at disposal. Please resend that question. So the next question says, I am skilled in reporting and looking to monetize my skill. Can you recommend platforms that offer financial benefits for reporters? Let me add the second one that says, if considering real estate, what's the best entry point for beginners with a small budget?
Okay, for real estate, we have what we call real estate investment trusts. This is a pool of funds that aggregates investors' monies, and they used to buy real estate properties. And REITs, that's real estate investment trusts, they're called REITs. They are allowed in Nigeria, they are regulated, and they are mandated to pay out 90% of their revenue, rental revenue, as dividend, to investors. What that means is that any income they get from rent, they will pay 90% of it out as dividend every year. So it's a REIT. You have UPDC REIT, you have SFS REIT, you have a couple of REITs, about 4 REITs in Nigeria at the moment. So real estate investment trust, the Chapel Hill REIT, so these are areas to get into real estate. If you don't know, you don't have an understanding, with 50,000, with 100,000, you can buy units in these REITs. If you get bigger and you have financial resources, you can personally decide to build and have your own real estate portfolio. You should just ensure you have all the necessary professionals working with you, so that you don't get onto the wrong side of a Ponzi scheme, or people that will just take your money and disappear.
All right, sir. So we've mentioned, the first one.
What's that about, sorry?
Reporter who wants to understand, who wants to know platforms that can offer financial benefits for reporters.
Okay, so there is the Financial Literacy Technical Committee of SEC, that provides a veritable platform. There's CAMCAN, which is Capital Market I don't know, Correspondents of Nigeria, CAMCAN, so they also hold very, very regular sessions where they just provide information about financial to reporters. So if you engage with SEC through the FLTC, you'll have access to information and also occasional sessions that will enhance your skills as well. And if you do not have access to all these people, just walk into any of these or have a relationship with any of those fund managers that I mentioned earlier. They are always free to share information to journalists so long as you're not going to misreport them or report them in a negative way. So the market is there for you to have the FLTC, CAMCAN, then most of these fund managers can actually guide financial reporters in enhancing their knowledge of the market.
Also, the next question says, we've mentioned 50K severally in the course of our conversation. So the person says she did not get what a 50K is about, really. Probably you want to explain.
So it's just a thumbs up, just a figure from the hair. There's no big deal about it. What we are saying is that if you are able to afford 50,000 naira savings every month, is a good way to start. If you are able to afford 100,000, 500,000 is a better way to start. But the point is, any excess funds that you have, instead of you leaving it in your bank account and being tempted to spend it, try and invest it. And it also helps you to have a discipline. If you set up direct debits, with your bank and your investment house, so as you're earning your salary, they are taking the money out the next day, taking out the next day. So that 50,000 will be saved, or 20,000 or 100,000, however the amount that you can afford. Is based on affordability. So 50,000 is just a figure we just brought out. If you're able to do that, that's fine. If you're able to do more, that is better. If you cannot do that much, just make sure you do something interesting from your earnings on a regular basis. Consistency is the name of the game. Thank you.
Because we only have 2 minutes, I will just take two questions that I think we've not touched on at all. The first one says, what's your view in starting investment in AI wealth app? And the second one says, does your company offer entry-level roles for investment research analyst? Straight to the point. Shooting is short.
So the answer is yes to the entry-level roles for investment research analyst. The answer is yes if you're able to get through our recruitment process and you're competent. Yes, we do on an annual basis. So or whenever the opportunity exists. So the answer is yes to that one. The other question is on, and not only us, other companies also, so long as you are well qualified, you have a BSc, you have a 2-1, and you are smart and you're willing to learn, that's the usual benchmark, at least for Marble Capital. What's your view in starting investment in AI wealth app? It is a fantastic idea if you are able to articulate the value proposition very well. Okay, it's a fantastic idea. So if you're able to articulate your position very well, you can start your investments in AI wealth app and all of that. So, but we need to see what your articulation is and to see the benefits, to see the how you're able to address the potential risks and all of that. But it's a fantastic idea that I will encourage. If you're able to address any concerns that may come from it properly. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. I think it's 12:50. We need to release you now. To everyone that asked for the address of our guest speaker, he has dropped his email address and the website for us to, if you have any question, can please reach out to him. The email address is akeem.oyewale@mabu.capital. I will copy and paste it again. And the website is www.mabu.capital. So if you have any further questions for which has not been addressed during this conversation, please let's do well to reach out to him. We just have to release him now. And of course, yes, the recording will be made available to everyone. For those of you that register, please expect to have it in your mail. In fact, before 3 p.m., inshallah, as well as the slide. And for everyone that are currently on the WhatsApp platform of Beit Sakina, you will also get it. Thank you very much. Please, once again, let us appreciate our guest lecturer, Dr. Akeem Oyewale, for that amazing session. May I reward you abundantly. Thank you very much for that amazing presentation. Thank
Assalamu
you.
alaikum. That's
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Please, for our guests, we still have a very short presentation around financial literacy coming from one of children in the home. So I kindly request that we please stay on the call and listen